Good morning YouTube, and welcome back to my channel that has no name because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, and it's the channel that you get to watch me put all my money into stock market and probably let me lose it all, or hopefully like maybe you'll see one day that I do make a bit. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future with my money, but hopefully this YouTube channel will track it all and you'll be able to see whether I go bust or I actually do quite well. Now today I was going to do a video on insiders and insider trading, but something happened this week on the Trading 212 app that I think I need to talk about. They went down for an hour this week and a lot of people lost their shit. If you're just here for that info on Trading 212, then skip ahead 2 minutes because I'll go through everything there. But we'll start with a quick update on my money. Now if you're going to Hargreaves and Lansdown in my stocks and shares ISA, we'll see that after a pretty shitty week last week with the coronavirus and Brexit, things have started to turn up again. It did actually go a lot better than this, but there was another coronavirus outbreak in Singapore and some on some cruise ships, and so the market got a little bit tetchy there and it came back down a bit. Interesting to see on these at the moment is the American markets are up pretty high, and all my ones that are failing down here are all my British markets. It goes to show a lot, doesn't it? It's a bit annoying. Also on a side note, my index funds are doing really well. Fair enough, the one at the top is the Rathbone Global Opportunities Managed Fund, and that's doing my best at 3.75%. But all my other managed funds down the bottom are really bad. In fact, they're doing pretty terrible, to be honest, and it's quite annoying. I think I'm going to do a video on the difference between index and managed funds, and I think right now is a really good time to have a look and see the difference. But I think that's a story for a different day. Overall, I'm up though, so I can't really be pissed at that, can I? But with the charges that I get on Hargreaves and Lansdown, I'm really considering moving myself over to the Trading 212 app and just shifting my entire ISA over. I haven't quite got there yet because I'm not quite confident in 212 yet. I'll explain that in a minute. So let's take a look at my Trading 212 app. It's doing okay. It did rebound quite well. I was probably 10 or 20 quid up at the beginning of this week, but the coronavirus has brought it all down. Same story though at the moment. The American giants are doing all the hard work and the British companies are really letting me down. In particular, a quick chat on ITV. ITV has some of the biggest shows in the UK. It pretty much owns Ant and Dec, who are the most popular people out there. But because of Brexit and the uncertainty of Brexit, their money stream is directly related to how big companies are willing to spend on advertising. At the moment, because of Brexit, they're not willing to put that money out there. So maybe once we get a bit more certainty on the Brexit market, ITV might start to come back. But at the moment, it's just doing horribly. They're not getting the revenue streams that they should be getting. That's the one that's really pissing me off. But as usual, I'm not overly worried about this account. This account is supposed to be for dividend growth investing. I'm still seeing how that goes with Trading 212 before I really start piling in my money. But in the Hargreaves and Lansdown account, you might have seen that there's £3,000 spare there. If all goes well over the next couple of months, that shit will be going in there, no problem. So on to what I want to talk about this week, and it's the hour of downtime that Trading 212 had. Now, at some point this week, I can't remember exactly the day, I think it was February 4th around midday, I went to log into Trading 212 and I couldn't. I was sat there going, oh shit, why is it not working? And I did actually start shitting it a bit. I was thinking, oh shit, where's all my money gone? I can't get to it. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little bit panicky at the moment because it's still new to me, so I'm always checking my stocks still and just seeing how everything's going and keeping up to date with all the news and stuff. So I really wanted to get in, and after about half an hour I was still not able to get in. So I had a look on Twitter and I had a look at the Trading 212 hashtag, and I saw just a stream of hate going on. People saying that Trading 212 had ruined their lives and they had lost shit tons of money, and they were going to make loads of moves today and all this sort of stuff. Some even saying they were suing, I think, something like that. Actually, at this point, when I started seeing all this going on Twitter, it made me feel a little bit more reassured, because I found out it was more of a company-wide thing and not something just related to me, like I'd been banned or something like that. I know that everybody else was going through the same thing. I felt a little bit reassured by that. What I didn't feel reassured by was that Trading 212 had decided not to say a single thing about it, and they left thousands of people kind of stranded, not really knowing where their money was. Trading 212 released a statement on their community forum, and I'll go through that and just break that down, what they said. They started off saying they were very sorry. Of course they're very sorry, like, it's quite a bad thing that what happened, but they're quite open with everything that's going on, at least a little bit open. They're telling us there was an unprecedented spike in activity and that their servers couldn't cope with it. That's fair enough, that's going to happen. But I seem to remember that day that there was a big notification for Tesla going through the roof. So I feel like they might have caused it. Can't be sure of that, but I do remember some notifications going out this week saying, Tesla spiked, quick, get on your CFD and start buying. So I've got a feeling they might have caused this hype that generated all this spike in activity, and they just weren't able to cope with it. They go on to say that they've got a short-term and long-term goal to fix it. It's quite vague, but at least they're being a bit transparent and saying that they've realised the problem and they're going to do something about it. What did annoy me a little bit though is the next bit of it, where it goes into side notes. Now there's nothing wrong with side notes at all, but the content that they actually put in this side note was actually one of the most important things for me, for them to just communicate to me that the downtime was happening and your money is okay. That was the biggest problem for me. I was sat there trying to log into this app and there was just absolutely no communication from them whatsoever. You know, I've only got £1,000 in there, but I can imagine that other people have got thousands of pounds in there, and they had no idea where their money was for a whole hour. And obviously, you know, if Tesla's trading quite high, I mean, personally, I'm not chasing Tesla, but if Tesla's quite high and a lot of people are chasing it, they're missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make some real gains on a new company that's going to break new ground in the market. So they say we should have posted that we have a technical problem. Yes, it would have been nice for them to either put a note in the notifications tab on the app or even just on Twitter to explain that something's happening. What really did piss me off about this though is that they've said the only reason they didn't put out a note on Twitter was because it wouldn't have affected the negative comments. To me, that's not great, because that tells me that all they care about is the negative comments. I get it, they're a new company and they need to grow, and negative comments are pretty bad, but you've got my money and it's my life savings. So you need to tell me when something's going wrong, and I need to be reassured that I'm going to get my money back, it's safe, and don't worry, we're going to be back in a few hours. That would have been really, really important to me. And I feel like in this little side note, they've really missed the point here. It's not about the negative shit you're going to get on Twitter. Like, you're going to get that no matter what. But the actual people like me who aren't taking to Twitter to rant and rave and say we're going to sue you, we want to know that we've put our money in a safe brokerage company and you're not going to run off with our money somewhere. And I think this touches on what my most important point about Trading 212 is at the moment, is that it's a new app. In the UK, we haven't had these free trading apps for very long. In America, they've had M1 and Robinhood, and they've been trading for quite a while. But in England, where people don't really invest and they choose to invest with more reputable companies, an app like Trading 212 really needs to get it right. And we know that you're going to have times of downtime. We know the internet's pretty shit sometimes. But when it does happen, you need to tell us, and we need to know straight away, so we need to know our money is safe. Okay, so that's the harsh bit over. Hopefully they're going to learn from this, and hopefully they pay a bit more attention to their customer service and communication, rather than just worrying about their likes and their popularity. It finally goes on to say that they haven't had much downtime in the past, and they've had very good uptime. And if I'm honest, that is quite true. On the Hargreaves and Lansdowne account, I've had probably downtime 3 or 4 times in just 1 month. So their app isn't that great, but because they're a reputable company, because they've been established so long, people trust them a lot more, but they don't trust Trading 212 as much. It's the same with NatWest. NatWest and TSB, I had accounts with them, and they used to go down all the time. So we know that the system doesn't always work. But it's great. Trading 212 is up most of the time, and I can't really fault them on that. I do also like the community forum as well. They talk to you quite one-to-one, and they are very, casual about their conversations. It's quite nice. So that's what happened with them this week. I'm okay with it. Hopefully they've learned from this situation. For me, they're a brand new company. They're based in Bulgaria, and they're not 100% trustworthy yet. They're a brand new company, so they need to develop our trust a lot more. That's why I haven't put all my money in them yet. I haven't had a dividend off them. I don't know how much they're taking. And their profit system is quite a complicated one. I'll probably go into the ways they possibly make money in another video in the future. But it is quite complicated, and the transparency of that needs to be there for people to really trust them. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my update next week.